Dear friends, welcome to the science class. In the last class, we started with the friction topic. We studied all the concepts which is going to come in the friction topic. We studied about the why friction, how the friction is going to happen, why the friction is a necessary evil. In the last class, we discussed. In the same manner, we discussed how to increase or decrease in the friction. In the last class, why should we increase or decrease the friction so that we can get the easy movement of the objects which we are going to use in the daily life. In the today's class, we are going to discuss the last concept of this topic, that is nothing but the types of the friction. We are going to discuss about the types of the friction in this today's class. This will be the last topic of this chapter. Right? There are four types of the friction. We have four types of the friction, namely as the static friction. First name as static friction. Static friction. Second one is sliding friction. Sliding friction. Third one is rolling friction. Third one is rolling friction. These all frictions are when the bodies are in contact with the another surface. The bodies of the object which is in contact with the another surfaces like ground, like tables, like those things. But last one is a fluid friction. Last one is a fluid friction. Name itself suggests that fluid friction is nothing but the frictional force which is going to come in the air medium as well as in the liquid medium. Fluids are nothing but air and liquid, gas and liquid. The gas and liquid which is going to exert the frictional force, opposite force is nothing but the fluid friction, which we are going to discuss in the further classes. Now static friction, sliding friction, rolling friction, all are which come in the when the two surfaces are both in contact with each other. Now we are going to discuss each and everything by taking an example. Give an example. We have a box here. A box here. Box is full with the. It is full with goods, and it is heavy one. And it is heavy one, and it is kept on a ground. It is kept on a ground. What I have to do? I have to move this box. I have to move this box. If I want to move this box, what will happen? The box will be at rest position. It is not moving. It is in static position. At the static position, at the starting static position, before the movement of that object, it is interlocking with the surfaces of that ground. It is interlocking with the surfaces of the ground before the moving. In the same manner, table is also kept on the ground. It is not moving. It is interlocked with the surface of the ground. In the same manner, this box is interlocked with the surface of the ground. This surface of the box is interlocked with the surface of the ground. That because of this, it is a stationary position. It is a static position. It is not moving. When I apply the force, it starts to move. Before applying the force, it is at rest position. Whatever at the rest position, whatever the friction force which is acting at the rest position is known as the static friction. It is known as the static friction. That is nothing but before the movement of this object, which is in contact with the ground or another object is known as what? It is known as static friction. Before movement of any body, before movement of ourselves, before movement of a bag, before movement of a vehicle, before movement of a table, before movement of any object, the frictional force which is acting on that object is nothing but the static friction. Name itself suggests that static. Static means stationary. Stationary means at rest position. At rest position. So that we can say that static friction is nothing but the frictional force. The frictional force which is exerted on an object which is in contact which is in contact with its surface, before the movement of that object. Static friction is nothing but it is a frictional force which is exerted on an object which is in contact with its surface before the movement of the object. Now let us take the example of this gesture. It is on my hand. At what position it is? It is at rest position. It is at rest state. That means the frictional force which is acting or which is exerted by my hand or my surface of hand with the surface of this gesture is nothing but the static friction before the movement of that object. If the object starts to move or if the object starts to slide, then the frictional force is going to change. That frictional force has a different name. This frictional force is a static friction. Right? Now in the same manner, what will be the magnitude of the static friction? What will be the magnitude of the static frictional force? Now I have to move the object. I am going to apply 10 Newton force. On this object. I am going to move this object so that I am going to apply the 10 Newton force. When I apply the 10 Newton force, it is not moving. So that I am going to increase my force. I am going to increase my pusher pulling force. So that I should move this object. So that I am going to increase my force to 15 Newton. After applying the 15 Newton force, this object starts to move. This object starts to move. That means after applying the 10 Newton force, the object is not moving. If the object is not moving, in that sense, the opposite force which is generated or exerted by these surfaces, that is nothing but static friction, which is opposing the movement of that object, is more than that 10 Newton. So that I have to increase my applying force. When I increase my applied force, the object starts to move. Why it starts to move? The magnitude of this application of the force is more than the opposing force, that is nothing but frictional force. When we increase our force, it starts to move. That increment of the force is nothing but is equal to the force which is opposing it. Then only it is going to move. Up to that point, it is not going to move. So that we can say that magnitude of the static frictional force is equal to the force which is applied for the movement of the object, from the rest position. It starts to move. Right? So then we can say that the magnitude of the static friction is equal to the magnitude of the applied force to change the state from rest to motion. The magnitude of the applied force which we are going to apply on this object, so that we are going to change the state, that is from rest to the movement. At that point, the magnitude of that force is nothing but the magnitude of the frictional force, that is nothing but static friction. If I apply magnitude of 15 Newton, at this point I am going to apply the 15 Newton. At that point, the magnitude of application of that force, my force, is equal to the magnitude of the ground surface which is opposing the movement of this table. Both are equal. Right? You should remember these things. There is nothing but static friction at rest position. the magnitude of the static friction is equal to the magnitude of the applied force. Applied force which is going to change the state of the rest from the motion. Right? I hope this is clear. This is all about the static friction, and one thing remember, static friction has the more magnitude compared to the what? Sliding friction and rolling friction. So that one by one we are going to see those things. Now next we are going to discuss about the second, that is nothing but sliding friction. Again I am going to take an object which is kept on the ground surface, which is filled with the goods and which is in contact with the ground surface like this. Already we discussed that the movement of this object from the rest to the state, from rest to the what? Motion. That is nothing but it is the magnitude of the sliding friction. And what is, which is the magnitude of static friction? What is the static friction? The frictional force which is present at the stationary position, that is nothing but at rest position. Now, in the previous thing, we just push this box by applying the 50 Newton force. It starts to move. It started to move. It started to move means it started to move on this ground. It is sliding on this ground. Both the surfaces are contact with each other. Both the surfaces are in the contact with each other. When you apply the force, it starts to move. It is in motion on this ground, along with the ground surface. Along the ground surface. If I take this duster, I am moving. It is a stationary position. When I apply the force, it starts to move. Right? When it starts to move, it is in contact with both the surfaces. This surface and this surface both are in contact. Both are in contact. That means some opposing force is going to act on this duster, and some opposing force is going to act on this duster to the motion of the duster. If the motion of the duster is in this direction, some opposing force will be there in this direction. Some opposing force there will be in this direction. That opposing force is nothing but it is the sliding friction. It is nothing but the sliding friction. And this thing, whatever the movement of that duster on my hand, which is in contact with the surface of my hand, is nothing but the slide. It is nothing but the slide. Sliding friction is nothing but the opposition to the slide. Opposition force to the slide. That is nothing but it is a sliding friction, which is already in motion. If it is already in motion, it is in contact with that ground, some opposing force is going to act on that box, so that the speed is going to be decreased. It will be very much slow. So that speed, that opposing force is nothing but the sliding friction. In general, we can say that sliding friction is nothing but the opposing force for the slide. Opposing force for the any slide. Right? So that we can say that sliding friction is nothing but it is opposing force. Sliding force, it is opposing force to the slide. Slide is nothing but the movement of that particle or movement of that object on it which is in contact with the surface. Opposing force to the slide, which are opposing force to the slide of an object which is in contact with the surface. Which is in contact with the surface. Which is in contact with the surface of the ground. Surface of the ground. Which is surface of the ground. Sliding friction is nothing but it is the opposing force to the slide of an object which is in contact with the surface of the ground. Right? Slide of an object is nothing but object is in movement. It is in movement. But how it is moving? It is in contact with the surface. It is moving along the ground. It is moving along the ground. The along the ground motion is nothing but it is a slide. If it is sliding on the ground, there is the opposing force which is going to act on that slide. That opposing force is nothing but it is the sliding friction. and the magnitude of the sliding friction is less than the magnitude of the static friction. Right? Magnitude of the sliding friction is less than the magnitude of the static friction. We have to apply more amount of force to move an object than where we have to apply the moving object. The force we are going to apply on a moving object. So that always remember static friction will be more than the sliding friction. Now next, what will I have to do? I want the movement of this object is very easier. I want this object to be moved very easier. Easily I have to move this object. So that what I have to do, I am going to use my pencil. So I am going to use some sticks, which is circular in round, circular shape, which are in round shape like pipes. I am going to put those pipes in beneath the contact of those two surfaces. I am going to remove this box. I am going to put some reels like such as some pipes. On that pipe I am going to keep this object. I am going to keep this box. When I keep this box, when I push it, the movement of that box will be very easier. Movement of that box will be very easier. Why it is easier? It is easier because of the pipe which are going to keep beneath of those things. So that if I take the example of this thing, duster again, static friction, sliding friction. Now I have to move this duster very easily. I have to apply less amount of force so that the work done should be more efficient, the energy loss should be more less. So that I am going to keep some chalk piece beneath the duster in my hand. So that when I start to move, the chalk piece which are kept beneath this duster starts to roll. If they starts to roll, this duster is moving very easily. The movement of this duster is easy. The amount of force which I am going to apply on this duster will be less. The opposite force to this will be very less. This is very easily going. It is very easily moving. So that why it is very easily moving? Because the chalk pieces which are kept beneath this duster. The chalk pieces which are kept beneath this duster, making this object to roll or this object to move smoothly. Right? So that the opposite force which are generated or exerted by this chalk pieces are nothing but the frictional force. That frictional force is nothing but how it is coming? It is coming because of the rolling of these objects, rolling of these chalk pieces. So that it is known as rolling friction. Right? That is nothing but when an object or when a body rolls over the surface of another body, the resistance which is coming to that body is nothing but it is the rolling friction. The resistance which is coming to that body is nothing but the rolling friction. So that we can say that rolling friction is when one body that is nothing but when an object rolls over the surfaces of another body. The resistance is nothing but the opposing force. Which is exerted by another body, or the rollers, another body of the roll. Or we can generally say that resistance to the motion. Resistance to the motion is nothing but rolling friction. Rolling friction is nothing but when a body rolls over the surface. When a body rolls over the surface of another body, the resistance to the motion is nothing but it is a what? It is rolling friction. If a body is sliding on a surface which is in contact with the surface, the resistance produced by the motion is nothing but sliding friction. If the body is at rest, the resistance to that body to move that body is nothing but what? It will be a static friction at rest. If the body is moving, that's nothing but we are going to keep the chalk piece beneath my hand, and in between my hand and duster, the duster is going to roll over this surface. If it is rolling over the surface, there is a resistance force is going to come. That resistance to the motion is nothing but the rolling friction. That resistance to the motion is nothing but the rolling friction. These are the three types of the friction which we are going to, the major types of the friction when the two objects are in contact with each other. When the two objects are in contact with each other, these three types are going to be. These are the three types of the friction. If we check the magnitude of each and every friction, now first condition, static friction, the magnitude of the static friction will be more. So that if I want to move an object, I have to move this object, I will apply more force. That apply more, the magnitude of that application of that force is equal to the static friction. The body starts to move. When body starts to move, the application of the force is going to reduce. If the application of the force is going to reduce, the magnitude of the friction force is also going to reduce. That magnitude of the friction force when the body is sliding is nothing but it is the sliding friction. So that the sliding friction compared to the static friction has the less magnitude. In the same manner, whichever body is sliding, when I keep a wheels or rods beneath that, it is going to reduce the friction force again. It is going to easily move. If it is going to easily move, that means I am going to apply less force. If I am applying the less force, the resistance to this body is less. If the resistance to this body is less, then that is known as rolling friction. That rolling friction, that means the magnitude of the rolling friction compared to this sliding friction will be what? It will be less. So that the magnitudes can be given as the magnitudes of all the friction can be given as static friction is greater than the sliding friction. Static friction is greater than the sliding friction, which is greater than the what? Which is greater than the rolling friction. Which is greater than the rolling friction. In general, we can say that rolling friction has the less magnitude, static friction has the high magnitude, sliding friction has the low magnitude than the static, and high magnitude than the rolling friction. So then we can say that for easy movement of the particles or body, we are going to use the rolling friction. For making the body to rest position, we are going to use the static friction. To slow down the movement of the body, we are going to use the sliding friction. It is all about the types of the friction. Right. Next, we are going to discuss about the fluid friction. After discussing about the rolling friction, so that rolling friction is important. So that we are going to discuss first about the rolling friction. At last, we are going to discuss about the what? We are going to discuss about the fluid friction, which is exerted by the liquids and gas. Now next we are going to discuss about the further about the rolling friction. We discussed about the static friction, sliding friction, rolling friction. We also discussed about the magnitude of those things. Now further we are going to discuss about the rolling friction. Rolling friction is nothing but we are going to use the wheels for the reduction of the friction. Wheels reduce the friction. Next we are going to discuss that wheels are going to reduce the friction. How? If you take this into consideration, rolling friction has the less magnitude compared to the static friction and sliding friction. So that we are going to use the rolling friction. We are going to reduce the friction by using the wheels. Wheels also have the frictions, but it is going to give very less amount of the magnitude of the frictional force. So that we are going to use the wheels. Now if you check the bicycles, when you check the bicycles, when you check the vehicles, when you check the cars, when you check the every goods vehicles, that may be train, everything, when you check those things, when you check those wheels, the tires, the rim of every vehicle, which is in wheel structure. Those are in wheel structure. That means for the easy movement of the all the equipment, all the particles, all the object, we are going to use the wheels. So that wheels are going to reduce the frictional force, and for that reason the movement of those those automobiles or those vehicles are going to be easy. If somehow, if there is no invention of the wheels, there is no invention of the wheels, we are not going to use the wheels. If I am using the rectangular shaped stones, rectangular shaped wheels of those vehicles, rectangular shaped moving particles or square shaped moving particles, what will happen is the object is going to move very easily. Is it possible to that object is going to move very easily? If I take a rectangular shaped chakkas of those things, trains, what will happen? Train is going to move easily on that platforms. No, it is not possible. It is not possible because of those wheels. Train is moving very easily. Train is moving very easily and it is very quickly. That means roll for wheels is decreasing the frictional force, so that those are moving very easily. If I take the example of luggage bag also, is it easily possible to slide a luggage bag on the ground to take those things to the while going to the journey, sliding the luggage bag? Or after taking the luggage bag, is it easy, or keeping the wheels on the luggage bag and moving that luggage bag will be easy? Adding the wheels to that luggage bag will be easier to the move to that luggage bag. If I have to slide to that luggage bag, if I have to slide that luggage bag, it will be required more energy and more force. If I keep the heels on that luggage bag, it is going to be very easy. Why it is easy? Wheels are reducing the frictional force which is coming in the contact of that luggage bag as well as on the surface of that ground. That means wheels are going to reduce the friction. In the same manner, when you check the bearings, which is kept in the machinery, which is there in the bicycle, which is there in the machinery, that is nothing but vehicles, which is there in the sugarcane juice making machines, sugarcane juice making machines. When you check the factory machines, there will be bearings present. What the bearings going to do? Bearings are the connection between the movement of those particles, the equipments. If there is a movement of those equipments, the rotation or revolution of the equipment, it is going to happen because of the help of the bearings. How the bearings look like? Bearings look like in the circular form. That is nothing but in the wheel form. Why we are going to use the wheel form bearing? So that equipment or that machinery starts to rotate easily or starts revolve easily. So that because of that we are going to use the wheel. Why the wheels are important here? Wheels are reducing the friction between the surfaces of those machineries. Surfaces of those machineries, that is nothing but axle, that is nothing but ball bearing between the hubs and the axles. Axles are nothing but the rotator, or we can call it as shaft which is rotating, which is in contact with these bearings. These bearings will be contacting the sugarcane making machines, that is nothing but sugarcane making machineries or other parts of that machinery, which is going to make them to rotate easily. If it is making them to rotate easily, that means the frictional force which is coming in that contact will be reduced by using of these wheels. It is going to continuously rotate, and continuously it is going to less amount of force. It is going to experience less amount of force, so that the movement will be more due to the less frictional force. In this manner, wheels are going to reduce the friction. If somebody asks you to how we are going to carry a very heavy object, how we are going to move a very heavy object by single-handedly, you can say that I am going to lift it. No, you are not going to lift it. I am going to slide it. You are not going to slide it. You are going to use the topic, the concept we are learning in this chapter, that is nothing but we are going to take 2 or 3 stakes. We are going to keep those stakes, circular stakes, beneath that box, and I starts to push it. When I starts to push it, due to the magnitude of the rolling friction is very less, it is going to resist very lessly, and we are going to move that heavy object single-handedly by using the concept which are clear in this topic. I hope this is clear. This is clear about the static friction, sliding friction, rolling friction, what are they? How the wheels are going to reduce the friction? Wheels are going to reduce the friction since rolling friction has a less magnitude. Because of that, we are going to use the wheels in the bearings. As the bearings, we are going to use the wheels in the luggage bags, and we are going to use the wheels in the wheelchairs. We are going to use the wheels in the what? In the vehicles, automobile, so that the frictional force will be less, the each movement of the particle should be more. I hope this is clear. In the next class, we are going to discuss about the fluid friction. After that, the chapter is going to be completed. After the fluid friction, we are going to discuss about the question answer. That is nothing but exercise questions. Right? After that completion, we are going to take an exam. I'm going to give you time for the examination, so don't worry about that thing. After this topic, we are going to start the next chapter. So that up to that point, up to that section to be completed. Take care. Thank you. Stay well. Stay home.